Hello, it's 4 o'clock on the Monday. This is the scheduled live Facebook. I'm Andrew McKay of Remix here in Wasaga Beach, and this is the very first one I've ever done, and the first one on the McGuinness and McKay Facebook real estate team page. That's what I'm thinking of. How are small businesses coping with the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, and the state of emergency? It's tough. There's no doubt it's tough. As I said, this is the first one, so please be gentle with me. And if you can comment or like, so I know, one, that somebody's there and I'm not talking to myself again. And secondly, that you can see and hear me. And also the same when Jen comes on in a minute. It's May the 4th, 2020. No Star Wars jokes. Maybe some Star Trek. Maybe some Star Trek. And I hope everyone is safe and well. A big thank you to all the frontline workers. They're allowing the rest of us the luxury of staying home, as we should all be doing. Anyway, local businesses are definitely the backbone of any community, both financially and socially. The current times, they're unprecedented. That's a word that's overused, but there's no doubt the current times are very unprecedented and putting a big strain on all of us. And I would imagine small businesses, well, we know small businesses are struggling. They're having to be, restaurants are doing takeout, places are closed, people can't go to work. It's quite traumatic. I should be here with Jennifer Campbell from the Danceroom, but I can't see her, which is a bit of a disaster. She's not showing up anywhere. She's meant to start just after me. She's just texted me. Oh, and she's saying she didn't get a link, which she did. This is a disaster. Excuse me 1 second. Right, yep, everybody's here except Jen. She's saying she didn't get a link, which is, like I said, terrible. You can tell it's live. Let me see what I can do just quickly. I'm going to send it to her again. I just have to remember that you can see me while I'm doing all this, so I better be careful. And now my dog started to go. So there's a few of you here. Right, so I know there's some people here, you can hear me, and we're just waiting for Jen. I'm especially interested in the dance room. My daughter Sabrina went to her first summer camp there 10 years ago in the summer of 2010. And then started full-time in September. So I've got a personal interest and can vouch for it. And she's been there 10 years, finishing this year as she graduates high school. And I can safely say that dance rooms had a more positive impact on her than her schooling. Not that schooling was bad, but just everything she's learnt there as far as discipline, working with others, having to turn up. You know, as all us adults know, when you're working, you have to turn up every day. But she's done it because she's loved it and really, really enjoyed it. So if anybody wants a recommendation, a glowing recommendation, obviously, by the sounds of what I've just said, then I can definitely give it to you. And we got Jen.
Thank Hello. Goodness.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, well.
Yeah. If anybody can say down there or across there that you can see Jen and you can hear her, that would be great. I've just saying about small businesses. It's tough at the moment, tough for everybody and especially small businesses. I gave a little bit about the dance room to fill up the blank space while we were sorting out our technical difficulties.
Good work, thank you.
Sabrina being there. I'll let you introduce yourself, Jen, and give us a bit of history.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as Andrew said, my name is Jennifer Campbell. I am the owner of the Dance Room, which has been in operation now for 16 years, which is hard to believe. I went to university for dance. Dance is my passion, and I'm really fortunate that I'm still able to be dancing through these unprecedented times and keeping some normalcy in my life. And yeah, the Dance Room is located in Stayner. We offer competitive programs, recreational programs, programs for adults, but everything's looking a little bit differently now.
What's the culture, your ethos for the dance room, the belief? So I was saying how with Sabrina, I think the dance room's had more influence on her the last 10 years, the person she's grown into, than schooling. Not that school was bad, just the teamwork and everything. So if you could just talk about your beliefs and your ethos, if that's the right word for the dance room.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've always run under the belief that dance should be fun and it should be affordable. And we've recently added to our ethos that it should be in a family atmosphere. So not only that, the whole family is a part of the studio, the parents, the siblings, but that we're a dance family as well. We're a huge family. We feel like parents as dance teachers. As you said, we feel like we have a lot of responsibility towards our dancers. And the biggest thing for us is it has to be fun, because if it's not fun, the kids aren't going to come back. And if the kids don't come back, then, well, we don't have a studio to teach at. So yeah, we believe that it should be a fun, family-centric atmosphere, and it should be affordable.
Which is exactly why I use Sabrina again as an example. And I know some of her friends, such as Kaylin. Hey, Kaylin, nice shirt. They love going. They turn up because they love going. It's and I'm not harking on about, it's just from personal experience. We tried the football as it should be called, but Sabrina found dance, and I know a lot of the people she started with are still there. So everything you say. Now, 16 years ago, you said you started.
Yeah.
And it was really family then.
Yeah. So I was 14 at the time. So everybody can do the math as to how old I am now. But I started it in my parents' basement. So my parents have been a huge influence on the studio, which I think has also brought something different to the table. My mom was always a dance parent, so she knows what dance parents expect in terms of affordability and scheduling and all of that fun stuff. And I know what the dancers should expect in terms of education and training. But anyway, so it started in my parents' basement, which we
stop there. Just stop there. I'm going to share the screen. If you can see it as well, Jen.
Uh-oh.
You may recognize this. I believe that's where it started. In the furnace room at your mum's house?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're actually saying goodbye to that furnace room soon.
That's the first dance room for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah.
It's quite pretty incredible.
Yeah, and that's why it's called the Dance Room, because that's where it all started. It started in a little room that we called the Dance Room.
Okay. So now you touched on it briefly, but age groups, classes, types of dance?
Yeah.
Under normal times, not now.
Yeah, normal times. So we start as soon as dancers are out of diapers, we'll take them. And we teach up to adults. We have a really popular adult hip hop program, but we like to, there's parents who are hanging around in the studio waiting, and so we offer something fun for them too. For dancers, we offer a comprehensive recreational program. We offer jazz, tap, ballet, musical theater, acro, hip hop, contemporary, Highland, I'm probably missing some styles.
Musical theatre.
Did I not say music?
You may have done. I didn't hear it.
Oh my goodness. And we offer a competitive program, and we're hoping, amidst all this mess, we have a part-time team, so dancers who train 6 hours or less a week in general, and we're hoping to add a full-time team to our schedule next year as well. And in terms of class times, most of our classes, well, all of our classes happen after school or on Saturdays in the normal times.
Okay. And what I'd like to add that I think is excellent is the kids can just do recreational. There's no pressure. It's not like a sports team where you're trying to get from one team to the next to the next.
No.
If you want recreational and don't want the competitive side or the traveling, you're equally as welcome, which I
absolutely.
think is great.
You're equally a part of our dance family. It doesn't matter if you're in the studio for 30 minutes a week or 5 hours a week. But what we find is a lot of kids, they try one thing or they see another style and they get hungry for more. So most of our dancers take 2 or more classes a week, but
at least
all of them.
Yeah, and I know there's some parents on here, so we all know that 2 classes, 3 classes, 4 classes, and we don't mind it because they love it. But if you are a parent, if you've got any questions, I should say, just put it in the comments. And we can pass them on to Jen. But it's a nice community. And now the big question. What are you doing now? Under these, how are you operating or trying to operate?
Yeah. So what we're doing right now, as everybody, we're all in the same boat. Everybody's trying to navigate this. Nobody was expecting this to happen. And we had March break to react. So we decided it was best to do pre-recorded classes so that, if you have crummy internet one day, you haven't missed anything. You can log on and get your pre-recorded class the next day. We know that parents are still working from home and trying to juggle facilitating online learning for their kids and cook meals and continue working. So we thought pre-recorded classes were a great option so that you can log in anytime and take your class. So we're still operating as normal. And the sad thing is this weekend would have been our recital. Mm-hmm. So things are starting to come to a close. And then we have virtual classes coming up this summer.
Okay. And do you find most of the kids are do you have some way of knowing, are they sending in reports or are the parents doing anything?
Yeah, so unfortunately, there's no real way of knowing because they're pre-recorded. If it was something live, we'd have a better understanding. We have asked, parents can log their kids' absences. So we've asked that parents, log that their kid is going to be absent, just so that we have an idea of who's continuing to follow along with classes. We have been asking kids to send in videos of themselves dancing so that we can see that they're still keeping up with everything. And we've been offering our competitive team critique. So dancers can send in videos of themselves doing their competitive routines. And we offer some sort of a critique so that they can continue working and progressing.
Which is great because I know a lot of businesses have just had to shut, bang. And you can lose the enthusiasm or whatever, or the continuity. So at least there's something going on for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these kids need something normal in their lives. This is such a hard time for kids who don't understand, teens who are missing the social aspect of life. So to give them some sort of consistency in all of this, I think is really important.
Yeah, that's great. And September, do you envisage opening? There must be talks about it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm hoping we can open, but I think things are going to look a lot different.
Yeah, that's my next question.
Yeah, what I'm anticipating is there might be some sort of guidelines as to how many people can be in a room, how many people can be in the building. So we may look at having to sort of, square off or partition, parts on the floor so that kids are staying in their own space, and we can sort of adequately cap off all of our classes so that we're not, overfilling the building. We might have to stagger class times so that people can come in and out without, creating that overcrowding overcrowdedness in the building. So there's a lot of things that are going to change. We might not be able to use equipment. I don't know if kids are going to be able to touch ballet bars or to, touch each other for lifts or anything like that.
At least you're thinking about it. It's not going to, at least as much as you can, because we don't know the guidelines. At least you're thinking, and you've got this, and you've got space. You've got 3 studios there. I'm sure everybody could always do with extra space, but I think the big message is that you are already trying to plan within the restrictions of who knows what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, we're trying. I mean, by now we would have had the fall schedule out, and we would have been doing enrollment already. But it's just, it doesn't make sense to, give people any sort of false hope or to create something and then to have to change it again.
And the very worst, I suppose, you could continue with the recorded if needs be.
Yeah, and we may have to, and that might be, the way that a lot of activities are being delivered. So it's just something that, we're going to have to continue learning, and our dancers are unfortunately going to have to adjust to, but it is what it is right now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, unless anybody's got any questions, there's a lot of nice comments over there, but no actual questions. I'll leave all the details in the post and everything if people can comment in the post if they want to know anything. But what's the best way of contacting you?
Yeah, the best way to contact us is usually by email. You can reach us at info@the-danceroom.com. You can phone or text us at 705-441-3790. And all of our information is on our website. We also have virtual classes coming up this summer, and all of that information is on our website as well.
Great. And I don't know if you can see the screen, Jen, but a certain Juliet Campbell's what about exams?
Yeah.
I completely forgot about.
Thanks, Mom. So we're still working towards exams. Right now we have our exams slotted for August. So we're hopeful that those might be able to happen because they're not, it's not a busy, overcrowded atmosphere. There's only 6 kids allowed in a studio at a time during an exam. So they may be able to happen. So we're still working towards those, which is really exciting. But yeah, we're hoping that we can continue with our acro, ballet, tap, and jazz exams too.
Great. Just to wrap things up, Juliet's coming again. We're doing a recital in September. The 13th, everybody is booked. But I know this year you've got certain students going on to college. They're doing dance, musical theatre, etc. So I just want to emphasise that, how can I put this? If parents are interested and they're watching and they want to chat to you, they want to look at, leave questions, that they're taken care of right through school, but there could be a career. People do fall in love with dance, and it must be quite rewarding to see people actually thinking about it as a career. So well done. Janice has asked quickly the Highland program. Could you talk a bit more about that?
Absolutely. So we're still offering Highland up until, recital time right now. And then we're going to continue working on Highland throughout the summer. So we have dancers who are working towards exams this summer, which is really exciting. We have our competitive program, and we're always, open to new students in our Highland competitive program.
They seem quite specialised. Do they tend to do just Highland without the other type of dancing, or do they?
To be honest, most of our dancers do other styles, and because Highland is there's lots of repetitive movements in Highland, so it's really important that they actually cross-train. And we actually ask that dancers do ballet so that they're working on sort of the graceful portion of Highland, because it's so athletic. You still have to make it look effortless.
And very technical. When I've watched it, it just seems extremely technical.
Very, and all of the technique borrows from ballet, which a lot of people don't know. I mean, you have turnout, you're standing on the balls of your feet. So yeah, most of our students who do Highland also do other styles as well. But so we're continuing to plug along with Highland, although competitions unfortunately are canceled for the summer, and that's when the majority of competitions happen. But we're still, keeping our kids working hard towards some sort of event whenever it may be.
Right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. There's no more questions at the moment, but please leave any questions you want below.
Yes,
It's going to be on a podcast as well, Jen. So I'll get people, if they can leave a review on the podcast who have questions, that would be great.
wonderful.
To me, you're doing a fantastic job under very trying circumstances. I think the majority, it's not nice for anybody, all this, it's unknown, but we're fine. We're at home, you know. You've got a business to run and support a lot of kids that thoroughly enjoy it. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And sorry about the technical difficulty at the start when we didn't have you. I was left having to entertain people, which is a bit embarrassing.
It sounds like you did a great job.
I don't think so. Okay, that's great, Jen. I'm going to end it now. And thanks, everybody, for turning up.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Andrew.